All right, have you ever bought a plant, left it in the pot for maybe a little too long, and then wondered how to actually get it into the ground so it thrives? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're following along with the one and only Mrs. Busybody as she plants 2 elderberry bushes and gives them their forever home. Okay, so first things first, let's meet the stars of today's show. Over here we have Elder, who is a gorgeous blacklist Sambuca elderberry. And believe it or not, this one's been waiting in a pot for over a year. And next to Elder, we've got Deacon. Deacon is super important. He's the partner for pollination. These two are finally ready to get out of their pots and into the ground. So where are they gonna go? Well, finding the perfect spot is key, right? And for Mrs. Busybody, this spot is, well, it's pretty special. She's actually planting them right in the spot where her dogs used to make a great escape. So she's turning what was a problem area into what's going to be a super productive, fruit-filled spot. I love that.
But wait, why 2 bushes? Can't you just plant one? For elderberries, the answer is no. You absolutely need a buddy for cross-pollination. Without a partner, you're just not going to get any berries. It's that simple. Now, you could plant them up to 6 feet apart, but Mrs. Busybody is putting them really close, only about a foot apart, because she wants them to grow into this nice, thick hedge.
Now, this spot isn't exactly easy. It is packed with roots from some huge pine trees nearby. But you know what? Mrs. Busybody has the best take on this. She basically says, hey, plants live together all the time in the wild. Their roots get tangled up, and they figure it out. So why can't they do it in my backyard? And honestly, that's such a great way to look at it.
Okay, so the hole's dug, looks good. You might be thinking, great, just drop the plants in and we're done, right? But hold on a second. This is where a lot of people make a mistake. There is one crucial step coming up that can literally be the difference between a happy plant and, well, a sad one.
And here it is. This is probably the most important tip in this whole process. We are talking about freeing the root ball. This isn't just some small step. It's everything. It's how you tell the plant it's time to grow in a brand new home. So look at this. After a whole year stuck in that pot, Elder's roots are basically the exact shape of the container. They're all bound up. So what Mrs. Busybody is doing is so important. She's getting in there and gently loosening up the soil, breaking those roots apart, making sure that main taproot is free. She's essentially waking them up. It's almost like you're talking to the plant, right? You're telling it, hey, you are not in that little plastic pot anymore. It's time to spread out, to really reach into the real soil and start grabbing all those nutrients. If you don't do this, the roots might just keep growing in that same pot shape, even when they're in the ground.
Okay, so the roots are free. But before the plant actually goes in the hole, Mrs. Busybody pulls out her secret weapon. This is something she uses for all her berries and trees to give them a serious head start. And here it is, Holly Tone. So what is this stuff? It's basically an organic fertilizer made for plants that like their soil a little on the acidic side, which, by the way, includes things like blueberries and, you guessed it, elderberries. It's like giving the plant the perfect first meal in its new home. So you'll see this 4-3-4 formula on the bag. What does that even mean? Well, think of it like this. The first number, nitrogen, is for green, leafy growth. The second one, phosphorus, is all about strong roots and flowers. And that last number, potassium, is for the plant's overall health. Plus, as you can see, it's got other goodies in there too, like calcium. And the best part? Look where all this stuff comes from. We're talking about feather meal, poultry manure, bone meal. It's all natural stuff. So you're not just dumping chemicals on your plant, you're actually feeding the soil life, which then helps feed your plant. It's a much healthier system.
Okay, here's another pro tip from Mrs. Busybody, and this one is super smart. She puts about a cup of the fertilizer in the hole, but then, and this is key, she puts a little bit of dirt back on top of it. Why? So the plant's roots aren't sitting directly on the fertilizer. It gives them a little buffer so they don't get burned. Simple, but totally brilliant. All right, we're in the home stretch now. The hole is ready, the plant is ready. Let's bring it all together and get these bushes planted for good. So she places the plant in the hole and realizes, it's a little too deep. And that's a really common mistake. You never want to bury the top of the root ball where the stem comes out. So she just adds a little native soil back in to raise it up to the perfect height. Then she gets it centered and starts packing the soil in all around the sides, making sure there are no air pockets. And here's another great little tip. See how she's using that soil that came out of the pot?
She doesn't just toss it aside. That soil is already moist and familiar to the plant's roots, so using it to fill in the gaps is a great way to reduce transplant shock and keep everything nice and hydrated.
And there we have it. With both Elder and Deacon tucked into the ground, they are finally free. After more than a year in those little pots, they can start living their best life, spreading their roots out into the real earth. You can just feel the satisfaction, can't you? So, if you thought this was cool, you're going to want to stick around. Mrs. Busybody has another project coming up where she's transplanting volunteer sunflowers. You know, the ones that just pop up on their own from last year? Yeah, she's going to show us how to move those without killing them, which I'm definitely excited to see. You know, watching this whole process is pretty inspiring. Seeing those plants finally get their permanent spot, it makes you think, doesn't it? So I'll leave you with this question. What's that one project sitting in your own backyard, maybe still in its plastic pot, that you've been waiting to finally give a forever home?